This video is brought to you by StoneAgeGamer.com, a fantastic site for retro games, systems, accessories, and more. Be sure to check out StoneAgeGamer.com. Skip it up and that up! What's going on, folks? Rich of Review Tech USA, and yes, you're staring at a Sega Genesis, because as you know, I'm bringing back retro reviews. I mentioned that a while ago on my Facebook page, and I think I mentioned in the video too, retro reviews are coming back to Review Tech USA. Also got a Super Nintendo from the Game Chasers. It's a gorgeous, pretty much mint Super Nintendo. Need a little bit of cleaning, but they hooked me up with a great system. So thank you, Billy Chaser and the guys over at Game Chasers, almost couldn't think of their name again, for hooking me up with that Super Nintendo. Appreciate it. And as you know, like I said, I'm doing retro reviews. Here's a Sega Genesis. As you see it right now, it looks like a plain Jane Sega Genesis. But it's not, because my father and I modded this, and it's pretty friggin' cool. So, to start capturing footage, you guys know I have two Live Gamer portables. They're my capture device of choice, but sadly, since I'm going to start doing retro reviews, old consoles don't have HDMI out. Now, it's funny, I didn't even know what I'm about to show you even existed. This is a composite to HDMI converter. It takes composite video and turns composite into either upscaled 720p or 1080p HDMI out. So audio and video from whatever you hook in here comes out to your TV. So if you have a new TV that doesn't have composite, or it's easier to go through HDMI, you get this box. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now I could capture to my Live Gamer portable with this, which I tried already. It works beautifully. So then my brain started cooking, and I'm like, I bet this thing, this AV to HDMI or composite HDMI box, doesn't take up that much power. And I started thinking, I wonder if there's a way to put this in here, and then you could just have HDMI out on the back of the Sega Genesis. So I talked to my dad, who's an electrical engineer, and I said to him, look, because I didn't want to do this the half-ass way. I didn't want to just, plop this in here, plop this in the console, have two power supplies you have to plug in now. I wanted everything to run. I wanted to install this in here, hardwire it to the motherboard, and have everything run off the original Sega Genesis power supply. So I asked my dad, would the original Sega Genesis power supply have enough juice to do that? And he came back and said, he got his multimeter and checked how much amperage and voltage this used, and looked at the power supply for the Sega Genesis, and looked how much wattage and amperage the Sega Genesis used under load. And he came back and said, yeah, the power supply for the Sega Genesis is plenty of headroom. But to have the power supply for the Sega Genesis, run both of them, how power distribution is inside the console would have to be changed. It wouldn't just be easy as just plopping this inside there, sucking power off of the motherboard of the Sega Genesis, and there you go. So we sat down today. We did all that. We had to remove the RF. There's no RF in the back of this anymore. We gutted another one of these. We put it inside here. We had to change the way the power distribution was. We soldered audio and video to the board that's inside here, and now this Sega Genesis has HDMI out built in, and it runs off the one power supply. Now this one, because people, I actually mentioned this on Facebook, and people want these things. They think it's an awesome idea. This one first thing I'll show you, okay, that's the power, and I'll show you, it's a regular Sega Genesis, if it focuses, power supply, okay? Regular Sega Genesis power supply, plugged into here. That's all we have powering all this, okay? This cord, now, we're getting some extra parts this week, okay? We're gonna get HDMI ports. Right on back of here, where you see that snake wire, there's actually gonna be an HDMI port. So you could hook this up, you're gonna have HD, you gotta plug in your HDMI cable, just like a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, Xbox 360, PS3. It's going to look and just be like, you're going to hook it up just like one of those consoles with HDMI. But right now, just because we wanted to Frankenstein this and test to make sure it worked properly, we have an HDMI cord that's installed in the Genesis, running. Follow the cord right back here. As a matter of fact, just to prove it to you, can you see it? I will unplug it from here. and show you HDMI, cord, and there. See it jiggling? So, there's no tricks, no hocus pocus. We'll get back into one. I know the production value on this video sucks. No tricks, no hocus pocus. The original hardware is in here, okay? We didn't gut this thing and put like an Intel Atom motherboard on here. There's a Motorola 68000 CPU. There's the Z80 in there. There's the Yamaha sound chip, the Sony sound processor, the Sony video processor. This is all native hardware. The main things we did is we reworked how power is distributed, and we hardwired the audio and video to the HDMI, the composite to HDMI converter. So everything, it took about 12 hours of work to figure it all out. So everything runs off one power supply now. And the beauty of it is there's no input lag with this. So when you play games, you don't know when you hit it. I'll show you in a minute, because I'm going to actually hook this up to a tripod so you're not getting seasick. But when I play games, that was another thing that was a concern. There's no input lag. So when you're playing fighting games, you're not going to have to worry about when you hit a button and 2 seconds later the guy moves on screen, because there's other boxes out there that do have issues with input lag. This one doesn't. Another thing we're going to do to improve the video quality even more, because like I said, this is just a guinea pig unit, because we are going to eventually sell these, and if people want to send their consoles to get them modified, we are going to get RGB, find a way anyway, to get RGB to HDMI, so you can get the cleanest picture possible. Because right now it's composite, it looks pretty good, but RGB or even S-video, we're going to try to at least get S-video, would look a hell of a lot better, okay? So that's it. Right now I'm going to set up my camera on a tripod, and I'm going to show you some games and show you how they look and how it performs. Alright guys, so let's play some games on the Sega Genesis. I'm going to show you actually me turning it on. Here we go. Hopefully my camera doesn't fall on the floor. Got some Streets of Rage 3 in there. Now I'm going to prop it back up and show you some gameplay. Takes a second to pop up, but that's kind of the norm with modern LCD TVs, even if you plug in stuff through composite. And there we go. Don't mind me adjusting on the fly. I don't want to do high production value with this video because I want to show you that this is the real deal. We're not doing any emulators or any trickery here. Also, too, I wanted to let you guys know. Oh, forgot to turn the sound up. Also, too, I want to let you guys know that through the audio output, through the HDMI output, it's stereo sound, not mono, like the regular AV out. Also, the AV out is fully functional still on the Sega Genesis. The only thing that we had to remove to keep the video quality, to improve the video quality, I should say, is the RF module. So keep that in mind. There's going to be no RF module, but I really don't think if you're interested in getting one of these that you're going to care. We're also going to do this to other consoles too. The next console we're going to try is the Super Nintendo. There's a couple other kinks I want to work out with this too before I start the Super Nintendo, but as you're going to see right now, it plays great and it sounds good too. So here we go. So again, this is stereo sound, not mono. And that flicker you're seeing is just a refresh rate of my camera not getting along with the LCD TV. Play as Axel, because Axel's really good in Streets of Rage 3. And here we go. And as you're seeing, I have no problem here. I can't really show you, but there's no input lag at all, okay? I have no problem playing this game right now. I'm actually enjoying the hell out of it and wish I wasn't recording this video because I want to continue playing it. But no input lag, like you do get sometimes with HDMI devices. It looks good. Even though it's only composite video being converted to HDMI, which we are going to change to at least S-video, there is no dot scroll on the screen, so it still looks clearer than it would be just plugging straight composite into your TV. For some reason the TV says I'm getting my ass kicked here. For some reason TVs, especially even though some TVs are no longer having even composite video on them, when they do try to upscale with the internal hardware, they look like shit. Whereas this does not look like shit. But I still want to try to get at least S video, though, because it would improve the video quality even more. Anyway, I'm going to try another game now, but as again, this fighter, if there was input lag, it would be a train wreck to play. And I'm not seeing any, at least anything noticeable, I should say. There is no noticeable input lag, and this is awesome. Alright, let's try the next game. Alright, again, I'll show me turning on the console, because I'm sure people are very wary of this. Alright. And I think I'm going to get up and show again. No trickery here. All we have is the power, the HDMI cable, going into the back of my TV. Come on, focus. Okay, anyway, back to autofocus. But you get the point, alright? Try to get it in front of the TV good again. There we go. This is a 6-in-1 cartridge, and you know I had to try Sonic the Hedgehog with the Sega Genesis. There you go, looks nice and clear. Wow. Looks really good. Got that stereo sound going on. And even though it's 16 by 9, it doesn't really look stretched. So, here we go. Try not to burp on camera, or at least have that much class in this video. But again, platformer. Any kind of input lag will be a complete disaster with this game, and there is none. Also, too, you're not really seeing any motion blur. You may see it on the camera, because this camera is really having a tough time picking up this. Actually, it looks pretty good, but really no motion blur, and it looks great. It just runs really good. I can't believe this project came out as good as I never imagined it to actually run this well. Yes, I'm kind of just blabbering right now, but I'm pretty excited about this because I didn't really expect this to come out as good as it did. As you hear, the music's fine too. That's the thing. A lot of people said to me on Facebook, what about the Retron 5? Rich, the Retron 5 is coming out, but that's emulation still. Not knocking the Retron 5. I'm probably going to get one. But this is for people like myself who love the original hardware, that don't want to buy, you know, a console with, because the Retron 5 is going to be, they're using a highly optimized version of Android, and it's going to be emulation. You're going to use cartridges, but it's going to be emulation. But anyway, that was Sonic the Hedgehog. We'll try one more game. I'm thinking Golden Axe, just 'cause I love that game, and we'll wrap it up from there. Alright guys, I think you got the hint that I'm using real hardware here, so I'm not going to go and show you everything again, but we'll try, what game will we try now on this 6-pack? I have Shinobi here too, but I think we'll do some Golden Axe. Let it boot up. There we go. Let's see here. Do some Golden Axe. Love this game. God, this game reminds me of being 10 years old again. Remember, I got this in summer of 3rd grade playing this, man. Just go right into it. I always play as the elf dude. I think his name is actually Axe Battler. I'm not sure, but I just beat this game the other day, actually. But again, looks good. Of course, my camera isn't fully focused right now, but looks good. Sound is awesome on it. Also, this is what I forgot to mention before. When we have to do something with the audio output that we're going to fix too. Right now, we're going right through the headphone audio output to get the stereo sound. So the volume, if you move the volume on the Genesis Model 1 for the headphone output, it's going to affect the volume of the HDMI. We're going to actually go right from the sound processor and build put 2 op amps in there, so it'll just have that amplified sound will go right to the HDMI, and the volume from the volume control for the headphone jack on the console will never affect the audio output of the HDMI, which is pretty cool. So right now, for this test unit, the headphone volume affects it, but that won't be if you guys want to get a console mod, want your console modded in the future. It's tough to talk and play video games. But anyway, this is Golden Axe, and it, as you see, no input lag. I have no problem playing this game. It runs great, it looks great, it sounds great. Need I say more? I've said all those things 1,000 times already. Alright, I'm going to end this video now before I start playing this till about 5 in the morning. Alright guys, so this is just the beginning. In a couple weeks, not going to say in a week, but a couple weeks, we're also going to mod a Super Nintendo with HDMI. So we're going to try other consoles too, and we're also going to try to get even better video quality out of the Sega Genesis. And once we're ready to go and we feel confident, because a bunch of you guys are already asking me about, can I send you my console? How much would it be for you to mod a console and send it to me? We have no idea yet, because this isn't the final build of this. This is honestly the first test run, and I'm pretty blown away it came out that good. So once it's ready to go, I'll put up a video. Once we're ready to sell them and modify your consoles and have you send us your consoles if you want them modified, we will let you know. I just was really excited about this because it works perfectly. I wanted to put up a video, and this is revision 1, and we hit a home run with it. Actually, I should say my dad mostly did, because his electrical engineering wizardry made this happen. So, alright guys, this is Richard Review Tech USA signing out. I'm going to get this video uploaded, and I want to see what you guys think. Have a good one.